because this wouldn't make any sense coming out Monday in Asia, but it will come out at Sunday in the US. All right. It seems that we have some new update regarding the Filian situation, but here's what I think. I think we should, take everything with a grain of salt, unless and until, of course, Filian herself actually comes out in one of her accounts and provides the date. But apparently, some of her followers, some of her fans, have decided to come up with something, and I don't know it myself. I just, saw the whole thing. I just, got it. But you know what? Why don't we just check it out and see what we think? But before we do, guys, again, like it if you do, and subscribe. Filian knows we need it, and here we go.
Okay, so it seems that we have a pretty big update on the whole Filian stuff that has been going on. Now, this is a pretty interesting one because essentially, if you guys haven't been, following along, there's been this whole hiatus thing that's been going on for months now. And the last video we kind of made was us talking about how people were kind of tired of it, right? Including a lot of even like clippers of Filian saying that they were tired. And that, it was kind of just frustrating that this is taking such a long time, right? And there's been things, for example, like the wall, which has been like a big community thing, which has been pretty cool to see.
All right, so we've already covered the wall, so I guess we're just, backtracking a little bit just to, catch everyone up with regards to this particular update.
Where, community members could add their own images and paint their own images, and put them onto this wall, which would eventually be featured on Shibuya Crossing, which we already had an ad from Filian for Shibuya Crossing, but now they were going to have another one where they put up the finished wall, and the wall did actually end. I'm not sure exactly how many days ago, but quite a few days ago now. So yeah, obviously people are wondering, well, what's happening now? So it seems like it's obviously going through a period of time where, there's a bit of a break or whatever, but we do actually have an update on when the wall will be featured at Shibuya Crossing. And
is this like a Walter? Sorry, I've been looking at the wall and we've got Scooby-Doo. Is that a Walter White reference? Breaking Bad reference? Miku, Squidward. Alright. Because there could be a clue. If someone literally sifts through the whole thing, there's a huge possibility that Filian herself has left a clue in this particular wall. Someone just has to sift through it.
Potentially an update as to when Filian might have some kind of update. I don't know. So it says, just got this email and it's Filian related. Now, again, I don't know 100% how true this is. Maybe someone's just made up an email. I don't know. But obviously, I'd like to think that they are being truthful with their email here saying, see you in Shibuya. Hey, we have a date. The wall goes live on the Shibuya Crossing billboard on July.
Note that the poster said it's related to Filian. He didn't say Filian said. But here's what I find interesting, right? July 13th, that is Japan time, JST. That is they're only like an hour ahead from SST Singaporean time or GMT +8, same time here in the Philippines. That will fall on a Monday. But guess what? July 13th. So that means the target is American time, because it wouldn't make any sense for this to come out on a Monday in Japan, or or on a Monday in Asia. Because it could only mean that, they're targeting American time. This is Sunday. This is probably gonna come out GMT under GMT +8, under Singapore Standard Time, under SST, under JST. It's gonna come out on a Monday, but under US time, at the very least, under EST, this one is gonna come out on a Sunday in the US. At the earliest. Alright? This is gonna come out Sunday in the US, depending on which side of the continent you're on, but EST is the earliest, which is 12 hours behind. So that means this is gonna come out on a Sunday in the US. So this was because this wouldn't make any sense coming out Monday in Asia, but it will come out at Sunday in the US. So there could be something there.
13th Japan time, which is in like 4 days' time. So they're saying, depending on where you are, though, that may land on July 12th. Check the conversion for your time zone. Then a quick note on the canvas, we restored it to the state it was in about 6 minutes before we closed it. This removes all the griefer art that came in at the last second. What goes up on the billboard is the real piece we all made together. Shout out to the...
I mean, even VTubers or, internet personalities are not safe from griefers, but anyways, like it.
The Infinity bots, you tried. Finally, our Phase 1 leaderboard winners, everyone in the top 10 has already been contacted about their prize. If that's you and you haven't seen our email, check your inbox and spam folder. Thanks for being a part of this. See you in Shibuya, the Wool team, Filianislost.com. So, yeah, obviously they say and kind of confirm in their email there that there will be the Wool appearing in Shibuya on the 13th of July. Now, obviously, if this is all connected with Filian, if this is something to do with her and is related with her, then this could mean that potentially there could be an update to her hiatus, right? Because that is the next step. We've gone through phases of this. We've got phase 1, phase 2, whatever you want to call it, right? And now the next kind of step in this is to put it up on Shibuya. Now, the whole thing behind the ARG, if you guys still care about that, is essentially, she's gone missing and that people are trying to find a way to communicate with her and get her attention, right? And potentially putting it up on a billboard in Shibuya.
I mean, that's just the thing. She doesn't have to.
Could be the answer and could be one of the...
Because there's this huge, let's not discount the possibility, like someone put it out on Twitter, that this could have been an entire social experiment. This could be her retirement. I mean, she was already in the inner circles of, huge, huge streamers and everything. Maybe he started. Maybe it's over. And you know what? Good for her, alright? Maybe she's just, quitting while she's ahead. That could be it. Right? I mean, hopefully, as one of her, she was my very first OJ. Hopefully, that's not true, but you know what? If this is her quitting while she's ahead, good for her then. I mean, we, as her fans, as a snacker, we should all just, feel happy for her if she does choose not to come back. Right? Because you know what? Everyone isn't, at least has a chance, or at least, gets to have that chance to have a happy ending. You know what? Everyone has that chance, to quit while they're ahead. And this could be it. But, hopefully it's not. But you know what? Let's just be happy for her if it is.
Things that gets her attention in the story. Obviously, we know it's not like real, but in story wise, if you just want to believe it for a second, right? Then yeah, that's essentially what I think is going to happen. Now, it will be very interesting to see if that does happen, though, whenever it does go live in Shibuya. Even if it isn't the 13th, like this email says, even if it's a different time, it will be interesting to see what kind of happens afterwards, right? Is there going to be any response from Filian? Is there going to be any kind of continuation of this that will potentially lead us into, hopefully, the final parts of this so we can finally get back to streaming and doing content and stuff? And yeah, is this essentially going to be one of the final kind of things that we're going to see, or will there be nothing? Because I have a very bad feeling. Well, I say I have a very bad feeling. I have, obviously it is a possibility.
Yeah, we should take everything, like I said earlier, that, we should take everything here with a grain of salt.
That potentially, the wall could go up on Shibuya Crossing. People go, wow, that's really cool. And then that's it. And I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping that potentially they have something planned or something bigger is going to happen and she's going to appear or whatever. So again, I'm hoping that is the case, but there is this small thing in my mind going like, what if nothing happens? What if, they just release the wall and then maybe, we have to wait again for like weeks or whatever for another thing? That I think would be pretty concerning. But again, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Then we wait. As a snacker, it's our job to support her in a sense that, what, if she's quitting while she's ahead, good for her. We should be happy for her. We should be glad. I mean, hopefully it's not. But then again, tomorrow was never promised. And, she said, we're going to show you my world. hopefully this is just something big. Hopefully it's just a marketing stunt. Hopefully she is coming back bigger, better, brighter.
Happens on the 13th of July. And if it does end up being an update, then that would be really, really good. Because as I said, people have been getting very frustrated, very annoyed, very unhappy about how long it's kind of taking to come back and all of this kind of stuff. And yeah, people are, starting to lose interest and starting to lose momentum. That was the words that came from Flippin' Filian, one of Clippers, right, saying that, Filian, you're losing a lot of momentum here, which I definitely agree with. I think that she is 100% losing momentum with a lot of fans that are just getting a little bit tired and just not really wanting to follow it, and essentially they'll just come back whenever she does go live again, and not really care about what is going.
Personally, I don't think the whole stunt, the whole collab with the Japanese studio. I don't think that it's going to draw in new people. But what I think is that it's going to draw in her old community. I think we're all just going to be there for her when she returns. Is it going to draw in new people? I hope so, but I don't think so. Because you know what, she's definitely. Here's the thing, right? No such thing as bad publicity. People are saying you're losing momentum, whatever. But the thing is, we're still talking about it. Regardless that she's not responding, she's not, doing anything, we're still talking about it. So, there's that saying, no such thing as bad publicity. Since we're all still talking about it.
Going on in the build-up, which I think, to be fair, is fair enough, right? A quick TLDR on what the wall is. Saying supposedly a part of the ARG, the wall is a canvas that you could draw on, almost like r/place in a way, as part of a plan to signal to Filian. It closed for a bit recently so that the people behind the wall, whether it be Filian herself or someone on her team, could put the current at the point canvas on a billboard in Shibuya Scramble.
Remember, she has a very large team. I mean, at this particular point in time, as far as we know.
Crossing. And obviously, yeah, I don't know what that's about, but so it was a fan project. And again, I don't think it was a fan project. I think this is probably
someone just had to. Yeah, that's very on brand. That's quite on brand for her and for her community.
Run by Filian in some way. Now, maybe it's run by her, like, mods or admins or someone who can do this kind of stuff, or just someone that's working with her, right? I'm sure she's not doing the brunt of the work, but I do think that this is set up in coordination with Filian for her return. At least that's what I believe, right? Maybe it is just a fan thing, and maybe it is nothing, and that a lot of people are going to be, misled into kind of thinking that she's coming back when she's not. But I don't know. That's the thing. They haven't made it very clear. They haven't made it very obvious that it is like set up with her. But a lot of the hope is that it is associated with Filian, and that essentially, she would be coming back and all of this kind of stuff. Because again, that's the only thing that I could see. And of course, we haven't had anything on her actual account here. There's obviously a wall account, which has Filian is lost, and they're literally just following, I think, just Filian, right? Yeah, they're just following Filian.
There we go.
Again, that's like kind of the basis of that. But again, people are just kind of wondering what will happen next. That's the main thing, is on people's minds. What will happen after this goes live at Shibuya Crossing, and will there be any update to Filian coming back? Will she return?
Fingers crossed that hopefully something happens. That Filian moves the I don't know, the needle moves or something, or Filian touches the glass, or in Tagalog, magparamdam siya. Alright, galawin ang baso. That's, I mean, basically, that's a joke, in Filipino, that, when you say, it literally translates to move the glass. So when people play, Spirit of the Glass, or, play with Ouija boards, it's basically, asking, hoping that a person, the ghost of that particular person, basically responds to their prayers or something.
Will she respond to the message, or will she just, will there just be nothing, and people are going to get even more upset? Because I tell you, if they do nothing, there might be riots online. I'm gonna be honest. People, as I said, people are starting to get.
It's gonna be quite on brand.
Fed up, and I think it would be the straw that breaks the camel's back if nothing happens. So
I don't think so. I think we're going to wait.
Just kind of being honest there, right? As much as it's cool that she's doing all of this cool stuff, there is a lot of people annoyed, and that is the reality of it. And potentially, it could get worse if nothing is to happen from this big wall thing in Shibuya that they've been kind of hyping up, right? Saying it's been 9 months, there's still milk in my carpet, and Filian is still nowhere to be seen. Obviously, Megalodon talking about this as well, which is quite funny.
That could be a pregnancy joke.
And yeah, this is quite recent as well, yesterday.
I mean, it's
so,
a Meg.
Obviously, a lot of people know her.
Shut up,
been
Meg.
talking about her. So potentially there is some hope that she could return. But again, it is all up to the 13th or the 12th, depending on where you live, of July to see whether this is actually the case or not. And again, as I said, it's either going to be riots or it's going to be people very happy that finally there is some kind of change. But for now, it just seems like a lot of people are wondering what's going on. And also, that is if this email is real in the first place as well. This is just to, kind of...
like I said, everything with a grain of salt. For all we know, she's already ridden off to the sunset.
Pointing that out too, right? Because again, it's a very simple email. But again, I don't understand why this person would lie about it, because again, there's no reason to lie about it. And I'm sure some other people...
Unless, of course, he's going for clout. But then again, only time will tell.
Of emails soon, probably after this video. Because again, it seems like all the people that kind of contributed are getting emails, right? So yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see if this is true, if the email's true, what will come of the wall if it is true and it actually does happen, and whether Filian will return or not. And we'll have to see, right? But yeah, that's essentially all I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And I'll see you guys in the next one. So yeah.
Alright, you guys heard the man. Like it if you do, and subscribe. The ghost of Filian knows we need it. Bye! When I scream bye, it's actually a Filian thing. Every time I scream subscribe or bye, that's from Filian. Actually, that's why I do that.